I have with me Mr. Tarun Kapoor. He's the Vice Chairman of the DDA. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Sir, how long will this entire planning process take before it gets implemented?
The plan has to be in position by 21, which means that we have about 3 years. And I think consultations would keep going on for till the end. The common citizen, if he is living in, say, a colony which is not very well developed, then he has a right to express his desires. His priorities might be different from a person living in a very posh colony in Delhi.
How do you ensure that circle rates are in tandem with the market rates?
On circle rates, maybe a little rethought is required because Delhi has been divided into very few categories. But that doesn't capture the entire price range in Delhi. Some areas have been put into one category, whereas those areas don't match with the highest in that category, or there's a lot of difference. So maybe there is a need for a relook there. And on issues where certain areas are aging or they need redevelopment, the previous master plan also talked about redevelopment. So this master plan is also going to talk about redevelopment. But very little redevelopment has happened in Delhi. Now, while we can just say that redevelopment should happen, there has to be something to trigger that redevelopment. But also some incentives if someone agrees or people living in a particular area agree to knock down their homes and build, say, new homes or go for modern development, then do they lose money on it or do they gain money on it? They will certainly gain money just because that area would become better and posher, but then do they get more space? Do they get something, some more commercial areas? So those kinds of incentives, plus maybe replanning to cater to their basic needs or to their advanced needs also in a slightly better manner. So supposing you have some areas where there are no offices or people have to commute very far to work, or you have places where, for example, shopping malls. Now in Delhi, there are some places where you have shopping malls, some places you don't have any shopping malls. So just to get that equal kind of a growth, which obviously improves the quality of life.
So we used to talk about the local area planning in Delhi. Is that a reality in this master plan?
The planning has several levels.
Yeah.
So the master plan is a particular level.
Yeah.
And then you make the zonal plans, and then you have the below that you have the layout plans. So that complete planning has to be done. So we are starting with the master plan, but those next levels of planning have not happened in all over Delhi, and they've not happened in those kind of details which is required. So now probably we have to ensure that all levels of planning happen, and
Concurrently?
then it can't be concurrently, but because master plan has to lead everything else. So master plan has to come in first, and then the next levels. But they should happen fast. So in this master plan preparation, we are trying to get all the data in. So if we are able to do that, if we are able to do mapping of the city, do baseline data, then planning at various other levels would become much faster. So and if we are able to use technology, then I think we should be able to do all that.
How much technology are you actually using in this new master plan?
We are trying to get the maps on GIS platform. So that will be a big change from what is available in Delhi. That will be very good for a common citizen also, because he'll be able to locate his house or a plot, and then if someone wants to buy property, he'll be able to do a good check on it. So that is one, and then getting all the information in a form which is usable. So use of IT basically, and then certain apps and certain other devices, so that even monitoring becomes easier. Right now also we are trying to monitor construction or maybe unauthorized construction through technology, which would come up in a better system.
So exciting times in Delhi with the land pooling. What has been the response to the land pooling in Delhi?
This is again an absolute shift from the way we were developing Delhi. So people can come together, they can do the development themselves. and which would mean that they can plan the way they want. And the problem that earlier we were acquiring land and then that land was getting encroached upon because government is not able to look after the acquired land in a proper manner. So that problem also goes away. So I think it will be if it should succeed. There's no reason why it won't succeed.
What has been the response to the app that you have launched for land pooling?
So far, 170 landowners have registered,
Right.
and it's going on.
So who is the development entity? If you have a 10-acre plot and somebody else has a 25-acre plot, how does the development entity go about this process?
It works like this, that in a particular sector, all the landowners have to come together. 70% of them have to come together. So when they come together, then they form a consortium. Then the consortium does the planning. We don't do the planning.
Right.
We just do the basic overall planning. We do the zonal plans, and the sector plans they prepare themselves. We just approve them.
Are there any guidelines for the sector plans?
There are.
How do you ensure that there is justice done to everybody? Are there some basic planning norms here by the DDA?
Yeah, absolutely. There are control norms, there are guidelines. So planning has to be done according to that.
And how soon will we see the impact of the land pooling?
I think maybe just wait for about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
In at least 1 or 2 sectors, we should get some substantial people applying.
So you reduce the FAR from 400 to 200. Will that impact the affordability?
The FAR for Delhi is 200.
Yeah.
And that's the right FAR for the city. And then there is a problem of resources because you need to be able to supply water. And even with this FAR, even with 200 FAR, we think that about 80 lakh people would be able to live in the land pooling areas, which is quite substantial.
In what period of time?
Full development in a city may take 20 years, 30 years.
That was the DDA Vice Chairman, Mr. Tarun Kapoor, telling us about land pooling, about master planning, about involving the consumers in this entire process of planning, and how to make Delhi a livable city for Delhiites. Please subscribe to Magic Bricks on YouTube and click the bell icon to get new videos.